Hi folks, this is Klassen, and this is the fifth video in my Heart's Eye series. First, I want to acknowledge that I am a person of European origins who is living and recording on indigenous land, land belonging to the Mississaugas of the Credit, Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Anishinaabe, and the Wendat. There are still many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples living on and caring for this land. In this video, I'm going to share a song I wrote called Rage. And I think anger can sometimes be the hardest emotion to access, but I think it's important to name and recognize and feel. And I'm also going to hopefully draw some parallels between this time of year, this Remembrance Day, and what it means to remember when memories can cause pain. So first I'll perform the song, and then I'll provide a brief reflection or some of my thoughts that inspired it. Again, thanks for listening. If you like what you hear or see, please subscribe and allow notifications, as I will be making more of these recordings. I have no cause, I have no trust, no place. I see a call, I see a boss, I just freeze. When you see me run, I'm not having fun. Fear. I can't stop to care what the neighbors think, dear. Wanna watch me cry, wanna take my side, wanna offer me a drink or somewhere to hide. I will need you to understand your good intentions, your helping hand. There is some rage, there is some rage in me. Wanna see, there is some rage, there is some rage even in me. I wanna scream, I wanna weep, or just yell. This place where dogs can't even bark. What the hell? How can this be real? We're not made of steel clones. There's no privacy, there's no agency. Drones, but a front row seat, gonna beat the heat. Don't even Wanna see, there is some rage, there is some rage, even in me. When I get down, close to the ground, I can breathe. I press my hands into the dirt, there's a breeze. Take your ugly dolls, take your shopping malls, go, go. I don't have a boat, still I know how to row. When I close my eyes, wear my night's disguise, can't really call it sleep, but it's better than my life, just to see me. You'd never know that I'm the author of this one-woman show. I can't hold on to this anger, I can't use it like an anchor lost at sea. You'll never find what's left of me. So when I think of war, I think of a lot of things. Mostly I think of loss, pain, and trauma, because I think it is such a horrific thing to survive or experience, and there's just so much loss associated with it. I have not fought in a war. I have not been directly affected by a war. The only thing I have in common with those who have is that I have experienced trauma. But I will reflect a little bit and remember some of my ancestors who fought in wars. My grandfather, on my mom's side, did serve overseas in the war. He volunteered in World War II. And the legacy of that for him, for our family, is that it kind of destroyed his marriage didn't survive the war, I guess is what we might say. And though he survived the war, he died shortly after. His death involved drowning. It involved alcohol. As is always the story, we'll never know the full story of his death. I know he had been an excellent swimmer, and if alcohol hadn't been a factor, he probably would have survived. And I also know that drinking is a response that people have to trauma. So I don't know the full story, but I do know that my mom was left without a father at the age of 5. And whether he'd survived the boating accident or not, she would have been in a broken, the relationship didn't survive, so she didn't have her mother and father together after the war. I know that her mother had a lot of anger about him going to war and leaving her, and she didn't tell him that she was pregnant at the time that he left. So I also know that my mom suffered a lot of trauma through abuse from her mother. And I wondered if her father had been part of the story. He and his family had been trying for custody at the time of his death. I mean, there's just so many ifs and what ifs. If he hadn't gone to war, would her life have been different? I would say so. Now for my dad, his mother married a veteran. It was her second husband. So his stepdad had served. By all accounts, he was very brave. And when he went to war, before he went to war, he was a very happy-go-lucky person, they said. Had a great sense of humor. Even during the war, he was known for silly, heroic antics, like crossing enemy lines for a bottle of wine or something, or bread. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he was very well liked and respected. But during the war, he was injured badly twice. And as soon as he healed, he was sent back out into the front lines. And I think it took its toll, not just physically, like he was missing an eye when he returned, but I think in his mind he had suffering in the form of PTSD, and he would never talk about the war. But he also turned to alcohol. He became an alcoholic, and when he drank, he got violent, and he beat his wife. So that, of course, left a mark on my father. So was I directly affected? No. Were they directly affected? No. But I do feel that trauma has a way of passing down through generations and affecting people who were not directly involved. I've already spoken in previous videos about some of my own experiences that have traumatized me. And I think one of the hardest things is just the inexplicable, inappropriate rage or anger that a person can feel and not be sure how to express in any given moment. Usually suppress. Usually I would turn it inward on myself. Sometimes with even resulting in some form of self-harm. And it can lead to depression, suicide, that kind of internalizing. And this song called Rage was an attempt for me to express the inexpressible. Why do I react the way I do in an inappropriate, out of proportion way? Why am I triggered? And what do I do with that huge feeling? How do I deal with it in a healthy way? And I don't have answers. I just have questions. And as you can tell in the song, I don't have a great insight. If you have any, please share. But I think that's where I will leave this video for now, where I will end this particular part of my story, and along with just a sincere just deep regrets to anyone out there who has experienced war or conflict zones, anyone who is experiencing PTSD as a result. I just hope that you can find healing and peace, and just sending my best wishes to you. If you like or hear anything that you've seen or heard in this video, please subscribe. And if you please also feel free to comment, to give me feedback. That can be very helpful, whether it's artistic feedback or if you'd like to engage in some of the ideas I bring up. You're most welcome. And I will see you soon. Thank you.